Hi folks, Puffin here with another Antifa News Briefa. It is August 10th, 2021, and the big news that I just saw was that Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York, just resigned due to his sexual harassment scandal. And his resignation is a 2-week resignation, I think. He said he put in his 2 weeks notice. Don't know if he'll last that long or if he'll end up resigning before that. I mean, I guess he held on for a year after this became kind of a firestorm for him. Resignation speech wasn't very good. I didn't see the whole thing or pay attention to the whole thing. I was watching it on another show. I guess I'll say the name of the show. I've been debating if I should say it or not. It's the Pascal Show. The reason I don't say it is because an advertisement from me at this time could bring you a lot of trolls. I have dedicated trolls from the troll factories in Russia, and the KKK and stuff have dedicated some attention to me. I'm on their radar, so they might end up on your channel, which I don't want. I'm not trying to send trolls to your channel. Just in the future, I think it could be a good advertisement when more people than just trolls watch my channel. I'm in a particular part of YouTube and Facebook where they basically just give my content access to trolls. Anyway, that aside, since I was watching on that channel, I didn't see much of his speech. I just saw some segments of it here and there. He mentioned his daughters, which you don't want to do. You didn't mention your son. It's almost like he's saying, hey, to my daughters, don't believe any of the things I said. Think of me the same way you always did, as a great guy instead of the way the media is telling you I am. And to my son, you can do this stuff and get away with it. It works. It's so sexist built into his supposedly trying to claim he's not sexist. And that's why this is making an Antifa News Briefa, because sexism is fascist. And Cuomo is probably fascist for some other things too. Like he probably didn't help Bernie win the New York primary. I mean, Bernie probably won the New York primary or would have won the New York primary. I don't think Andrew Cuomo helped. Fascist for other reasons too. But the way he spoke, the way he apologized, it was so Trumpy. And somebody in the comment section said something about Trump Jr., and it's like, you hit the nail on the head. He wasn't apologizing. He was doubling down on he's innocent. And it seemed like he was trying, like he thought it was a Zoom call to his daughters. Like, you can have this conversation with your daughters, but telling the world about your daughters is creepy. And, it seems like you're trying to use, oh, I have daughters. That means I didn't sexually harassed. No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it means the opposite too many times. And that's like, don't bring it up. Like, you didn't bring up your son. You didn't say, and I want my son to know that this isn't the way to treat people. I haven't treated people this way, because it's not true, because he did treat people that way, apparently. I mean, it just seems that way from the way he talks about it. I haven't seen the evidence, but I keep hearing about more evidence coming out. And a lot of times I don't just make this stuff up. The worst part is Trump did worse. Trump, raped little kids, and they anonymous published the documents of his settlements, these millions of dollars of settlements that he paid to these kids that Putin probably picked up the tab for, and that's why he owed him, or part of why he owed him in the first place. But anonymous published those documents. I shared the story years ago on Facebook, and Facebook gave it a fact checker tag. But the fact checker tag didn't say it was untrue. The fact checker tag said it was old news, which just means it's true. Like, it's not, the lines are real thick. It's not hard to read between them. And Cuomo's resignation was not an apology to the people he'd hurt. It was not an admission, so it wasn't an apology. It wasn't really any good. It was just this weird stuff. And his voice sounded like Biden, which I'm not criticizing Biden. My one criticism of Pascal during his show is that he's like, well, what happens to Chris Cuomo? I don't know that Chris was, I know there was some news story about Chris helping Andrew or something, coaching him or something. I mean, not well, like coach him not to do the bad things. It's not really about the cover up, or you get caught in the cover up, not necessarily in the crime, which is hopefully what will bring Trump down, if nothing else has, over this insurrection. I've been saying for a long time they need to arrest Trump, and they never got around to it. But when you look back on it, if they had arrested him, when they had plenty of cause to, all along, if they'd stopped him at any point in time, it would have not only been better for us, we would have saved thousands and hundreds of thousands of lives, millions of lives around the world if we'd stopped Trump before him spreading the Trump virus as a genocide. But we didn't stop him. And if we had stopped him, it would have been for his own good, in addition to our own good. If we'd stopped him before January 6th, it wouldn't have happened. It would have been for his own good and all those other people's good, um, to have stopped him. So we can stop him now to avoid greater evil in the future, but needs to be stopped. And he has nothing to resign from other than his phantom presidency, fake, his leadership position in the KKK, which is really, he's still a pawn of Putin. Let's be real. He's a pawn of Putin. So maybe Putin should resign or be arrested. I mean, being arrested by the police is probably better for Putin or Trump or Zuckerberg than being arrested by the people. But that's coming next. If the police or the government don't do their job to arrest these people, then the people will do it on their own. Or some people will take even more drastic actions. Probably even Trumpers will take those actions after their families die because of the Trump virus genocide lies. They'll take it out on Trump. What does it have to do with Andrew Cuomo? Well, Trump set that standard and got away with it, and is still setting that standard, where Matt Gaetz is still in office and, just hiding in the Trump cover, because that sex ring that Trump was promising to bust for all his followers that never got busted in the 4 years in office, it's him. Like, he's it. It's him and Matt Gaetz and them folks. So when you actually turn it around to where the liars are the ones who are being focused on for what they've done, you get rid of them. Like President Xi in China arrested 1 million members of the Communist Party when he took power. Just mathematically, I don't know how many million people are in the Communist Party to begin with, maybe 50, 15, I'm not sure. But mathematically, when you arrest 2% of the party or 12% or something of the party, you're not just arresting your enemies. That's probably the number of people who are corrupt in your government. And if you arrest all of them at once, you cut out the corruption. And when you honestly look at what China's doing right now, they are killing it. Like, they are knocking it out of the park. They're doing such great stuff for all their people, like and people of the world. They're advancing humanity further than maybe any country ever has. And they're doing it because they got rid of the corruption in their government. If we do that here, dude, we're sailing. And if we do that in conjunction with China, if we work as partners with China, as friends with China, and make up for all this racism that certain people have put in the way of that in America, dude, we are going to transform this world in good ways so quick. It starts with getting rid of the corrupt people. It starts with getting rid of the abusers. And so Andrew Cuomo out today, that's one good sign. Check my record, folks. Okay, I didn't call this, but I did make a video on masculinity, on toxic masculinity yesterday, probably my most direct video statement against toxic masculinity that I made yesterday. And Andrew Cuomo's gone today. Check my record. I did make a video, and thank you, fairies. Thank you, goddess. Thank you, people. Thank you, everyone who is involved in every way you know about. But the fairies are kind of an unknown element people don't know about, like the eagles or the who come in at the end of the Battle of Five Armies in The Hobbit. The fairies help, and thank you, fairies. Check my record. I made a video about ending the terrorist attack by Netanyahu upon Palestine. A few hours later, their ceasefire was enacted. I made a video about a Facebook prediction I made back in December or November of 2020 about how watch the Democrats impeach Trump again on January 18th. I don't know if I got the date exactly right. I think I might have. But I made that prediction 2 months in advance. And I put it on Facebook, so it's totally verified. And I made a video of it and put it on YouTube, so it's double verified, because Facebook likes to hide my stuff. Trump will be arrested. That's the best thing that can happen for him, because the other thing, the best thing that can happen for Trump is for him to be arrested by the police, because other people will end up arresting him, Putin too. The best thing that can happen for Putin is for him to resign and fade into obscurity before it comes back on him. However it comes back on him, whether it's his own people in the government or the people in Russia, DEA. It's like, Putin is safer in jail. Trump is safer in jail. Zuckerberg are safer in jail. Let's help them out by helping them into jail. Andrew Cuomo, probably safer in jail. It's like, these people have done bad, and they've done bad as part of a system that's emboldened them and enabled them to do bad. And then all these trolls are doing bad, participating in it, trying to pitch in their little words. It's all genocide and patriarchy and fascism and evil. And we can cut it all out, but you can see the repetitions of it. You can see the echoes of it, even on this side, or whatever, supposedly this side, Andrew Cuomo. We've got better Democrats than that. We've got good people, and we've got better progressives than that. We've got good people who would be Democrats if the Democratic Party wasn't corrupt and hypocritical. So we're getting rid of some of that, and that's a good thing. Good news for the Antifa News Briefa today. Um, don't let it creep into your life. I need to probably work on myself and root out more of these evil tendencies within myself that have become underlying. But yeah, I didn't see much of the speech, but it was disgusting to me that he still wasn't taking responsibility, and that he was treating it like a Zoom call to his daughters, and that he was even seeming to be faking that, because why wasn't it to his daughters and his son? Because of sexism, because people say, hey, this is the way we pretend to act, and this is the way we tell each other to act. And it's like, if we all just act honestly and truthfully and can be open and respectful of each other, we'll have a good society. And we do have good examples to show how to do that. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And yet again, check my record. I do expect the real consequences for all of Trump and Putin and Zuckerberg's evil to come back on them soon. And we'll have something to do with that, but it's also the goddess and the fairies and stuff have something to do with that. And I want to thank them and everyone, every spirit, every being, for their role in helping us all out of fascism and evil, because that's what it has been. And we're going to a very, very good world once we cleanse ourselves of that and all are together in all our glorious diversity and magical, wonderful unity that we can have only by accessing and respecting the diversity that we have. So thanks for watching.